Welcome back to Wellness for Seniors, your channel for brain health and senior wellness. Today, we're uncovering something that could be quietly shaping the way your brain ages: inflammation. Most people think of inflammation as something you feel, a swollen joint, a sore muscle, or redness on your skin after an injury. But inside your brain, inflammation often works silently. It doesn't cause an obvious pain you can point to. Instead, it slowly eats away at the sharpness of your memory, your ability to focus, and even your mood. Doctors and neuroscientists now call it the silent fire. Because just like fire, inflammation in the brain can be useful in tiny, controlled amounts. But when it burns unchecked, it damages everything in its path. And this silent fire is now linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, strokes, and even depression. So, the big question is, why does inflammation increase as we age? And more importantly, what can you do to calm that fire and keep your brain young? The truth is, your brain is not doomed to shrink and weaken with every birthday. In fact, studies show that seniors who manage inflammation will often maintain the memory and clarity of people 20 years younger. Some can still learn new skills, solve puzzles, and enjoy life with vibrant energy well into their 80s and 90s. But here's the catch. Fighting inflammation isn't about a single pill, a miracle diet, or one superfood. It's a lifestyle, a combination of small daily choices that either add fuel to the fire or pour water on it. In this video, we'll explore the 6 core secrets that science says can reduce brain inflammation and slow down aging in your mind. From the foods that naturally cool down inflammation, to sleep habits that allow your brain to flush out toxins, to the hidden dangers, like sugar spikes and chronic stress, that may be aging your brain faster than you think. Imagine this. Every meal you eat, every walk you take, every night of sleep, you are either protecting your brain or slowly weakening it. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to choose protection, clarity, and energy every single day. Now, before we dive deeper, let's understand what neuroinflammation really is. Unlike inflammation in your knee, which you can see and feel, neuroinflammation happens at a microscopic level. Your brain's immune cells, called microglia, are like the fire department of your nervous system. They rush in to put out danger, maybe from toxins, infections, or even stress. But when they never turn off, these microglia stay in attack mode, constantly releasing chemicals that damage neurons. Think of it like having fire alarms blaring 24/7 in your house, sprinklers spraying everywhere, even when there's no fire. Over time, the very system designed to protect your brain starts harming it. This explains why seniors often notice brain fog, forgetfulness, or slow thinking long before any diagnosis of dementia. It's not just aging, it's the silent fire. And here's the empowering news: you can cool it down. In the next block, we'll start uncovering the first anti-inflammatory secret: how your daily diet can become either your best defense against brain aging or your worst enemy. We'll look at the foods proven to protect neurons and the surprising ones that sneakily fuel inflammation. So stay with me, because the secret to a younger brain might just be on your plate tonight. Anti-inflammatory secret number 1: food as medicine for the brain. If inflammation is the silent fire inside your brain, then food is the fuel. Every bite you take can either feed the flames or help put them out. That's why scientists now call the kitchen one of the most powerful pharmacies in the fight against brain aging. Let's start with the foods that quietly keep your brain young. At the top of the list, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, which is literally a building block of your brain cells. Think of DHA as the oil that keeps your brain machinery smooth and flexible. Without it, brain cell membranes stiffen and inflammation gets worse. Studies show that seniors who eat fish 2 to 3 times a week have lower risks of Alzheimer's and slower cognitive decline. But maybe you don't like fish. Good news: plant sources like walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds also contain omega-3s, though in a slightly different form. Including a handful of these nuts and seeds daily is like sending firefighters to patrol your brain. Now let's talk about something colorful: berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. These little fruits are packed with antioxidants called flavonoids. In one famous Harvard study, Older women who ate at least 2 servings of berries per week had brains that aged up to 2.5 years slower than those who didn't. Why? Because flavonoids reduce oxidative stress, another trigger of brain inflammation. And here's a delicious one: olive oil. A staple of the Mediterranean diet, extra virgin olive oil is rich in polyphenol, natural compounds that cool down inflammation. Researchers in Spain found that people who consumed olive oil daily had better memory scores and fewer signs of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. Swap out processed oils for olive oil, and you're already protecting your brain. Now, it's just as important to know the foods that sneakily fuel inflammation. At the very top, sugar. Not just the sugar in candy and soda, but the hidden sugar in white bread, pastries, breakfast cereals, and even low-fat snacks. When you eat sugar, your blood glucose spikes, and your body releases a flood of insulin to manage it. Over time, these constant spikes trigger inflammation in blood vessels, including those that feed your brain. The result? Brain fog, poor memory, and a higher risk of dementia. Closely behind sugar are processed meats, bacon, hot dogs, sausages. They're high in nitrates and advanced glycation end products, chemicals that directly stoke inflammation. For seniors, this is especially dangerous because the blood-brain barrier, the brain's protective shield, weakens with age, making it easier for these harmful compounds to slip in. And let's not forget fried foods. The trans fats in fried chicken, fries, and donuts not only raise cholesterol, but also directly inflame the microglia, the brain's immune cells we talked about earlier. Here's the empowering part: you don't need a perfect diet. You simply need more anti-inflammatory foods than pro-inflammatory ones. Imagine your plate as a balance scale. If most of what you eat, fish, nuts, berries, olive oil, leafy greens, beans, tilts toward calming inflammation, your brain will thank you. Even one anti-inflammatory swap a day, like replacing a pastry with a bowl of blueberries, can start cooling the fire. There's also a fascinating discovery about spices. Turmeric, the bright yellow spice used in curries, contains curcumin, a compound so powerful at reducing inflammation that it's being studied as a potential treatment for Alzheimer's. Curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly calms overactive microglia. Black pepper even boosts its absorption, which is why combining the two is recommended. So, when you think about your meals, don't just think about calories or taste. Think of them as daily medicine for your brain. Each colorful fruit, each drizzle of olive oil, each sprinkle of turmeric is like water poured onto that silent fire. In the next block, we'll reveal anti-inflammatory secret number 2: sleep as the brain's cleanup crew. Because while food is your fuel, sleep is when your brain flushes out toxins, repairs inflammation damage, and restores clarity. Miss out on deep sleep, and even the healthiest diet won't fully protect your mind. Anti-inflammatory secret number 2: sleep as the brain's cleanup crew. We often think of sleep as just resting, turning off the body for the night. But inside your brain, sleep is anything but passive. It's one of the most active, powerful anti-inflammatory processes your body has. When you enter deep sleep, something remarkable happens. Your brain's glymphatic system, a network of channels discovered only in the past decade, switches on like a cleaning crew. It flushes out toxins, including proteins like beta-amyloid and tau, which are strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Think of it as a nightly wash cycle for your brain. Without it, harmful waste builds up and keeps the silent fire of inflammation burning. Now, here's where inflammation and sleep connect directly. If you're not getting enough deep, restorative sleep, your microglia stay activated longer. They keep releasing inflammatory chemicals that damage neurons. In other words, poor sleep fuels inflammation, and inflammation makes it harder to sleep. It's a vicious cycle. So how much sleep does the aging brain really need? Research suggests that 7 to 8 hours is the sweet spot for most seniors. Less than 6 hours consistently, and the risk of cognitive decline rises sharply. More than 9 hours regularly can also be a red flag, often linked to underlying health issues. But it's not just the hours, it's the quality of those hours. Let's break down a few powerful, science-backed ways to improve sleep and reduce brain inflammation. 1. Keep a steady rhythm. Your brain loves routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day strengthens your circadian rhythm, your internal clock. When this rhythm is stable, your body naturally produces melatonin at night, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Seniors with irregular sleep schedules often have more inflammation markers in their blood. 2. Cool and dark is best. Your brain temperature naturally drops at night. A cooler bedroom, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, helps signal to your body that it's time to sleep. Darkness is equally important. Even a small amount of light, like from a phone screen or night light, can suppress melatonin and reduce deep sleep. 3. Limit evening stimulants. Caffeine can linger in your system for up to 8 hours. That evening cup of coffee or black tea might not keep you awake, but it can silently prevent you from reaching the deeper stages of sleep your brain needs for cleanup. Alcohol is another hidden disruptor. It may make you feel drowsy, but it fragments your sleep cycle, leaving you inflamed and foggy in the morning. 4. Practice wind-down rituals. A 20-minute evening routine, reading a calming book, stretching gently, or listening to soothing music tells your nervous system it's safe to relax. When your stress hormones like cortisol drop, inflammation drops too. 5. Protect your sleep position. This one surprises many people. Research shows that sleeping on your side, especially the left, may help the glymphatic system clear waste more effectively. It's like positioning your brain drain at the best angle for flushing toxins. You might be wondering, what happens if I've had years of poor sleep? Is the damage already done? The encouraging answer is no. The brain is remarkably resilient. Improving sleep quality, even later in life, reduces inflammation levels and restores cognitive performance. In some studies, seniors who improved sleep hygiene showed sharper memory and better moods within just weeks. So, think of each night as an opportunity. Every time you drift into deep sleep, you're giving your brain a chance to put out fires, wash away toxins, and reset for a clearer tomorrow. In the next block, we'll move into anti-inflammatory secret number 3, movement as natural medicine. Because while sleep restores your brain at night, movement during the day keeps inflammation low and blood flowing strong. 2 essential keys to a younger, sharper mind. Anti-inflammatory secret number 3, movement as natural medicine. If food is your fuel and sleep is your cleanup crew, then movement is the spark that keeps everything flowing smoothly. Exercise is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools available, and you don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to benefit. Even small, daily movements create profound changes in the aging brain. Here's why. When you move, your muscles release proteins called myokines. These act like anti-inflammatory messengers, traveling through your bloodstream to calm inflammation in distant organs, including the brain. Think of them as peacekeepers, reminding your immune system not to overreact. Without regular movement, these signals weaken and the silent fire grows stronger. Another benefit of movement is circulation. Exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients while flushing out waste. Seniors who walk regularly often show stronger connections between brain regions, sharper memory, and even more growth of the hippocampus, the area critical for learning. In fact, brain scans of older adults who exercised 3 times a week showed brains that looked years younger than those who stayed sedentary. So, what kind of movement is best for cooling inflammation and protecting your brain? 1. Walking, the underrated miracle. Just 30 minutes a day of brisk walking can lower inflammatory markers and improve brain blood flow. It doesn't have to be done all at once. Even 3 10-minute walks after meals can make a difference. The key is consistency. 2. Strength training, building resilience. As we age, muscle loss, called sarcopenia, fuels inflammation. Strength training with light weights, resistance bands, or even bodyweight exercises helps maintain muscle, lowers blood sugar spikes, and protects joints. Strong muscles are like a shield against chronic inflammation. 3. Gentle mind-body movement. Practices like Tai Chi and yoga are especially powerful for seniors because they combine physical activity with relaxation. The result is a double benefit: reduced inflammation from movement and reduced cortisol from calming the mind. Studies show that seniors who practice Tai Chi have lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker, and report better memory. 4. Aerobic variety. Activities like swimming, cycling, or dancing improve heart health, which is directly tied to brain health. Remember, your brain uses about 20% of your body's oxygen supply. A strong heart ensures your brain is well-fed and less inflamed. But what if you've been inactive for years? Does starting now still help? Absolutely. Research shows that seniors who begin moving even in their 70s and 80s can reduce inflammation and sharpen cognitive skills within months. It's never too late to begin, but the earlier you start, the greater the protection. Here's an easy way to think about it. Movement is medicine, but like any medicine, the dose matters. You don't need extreme doses. Too much intense exercise can actually increase inflammation, especially if you're not used to it. The sweet spot for most seniors is 150 minutes of moderate activity per week, about 20 to 30 minutes daily. Add in 2 days of light strength training, and you have a recipe for a younger brain. And don't forget the little things. Taking the stairs, stretching during TV commercials, gardening, or even standing up to balance on one leg while brushing your teeth all count. Every movement is a signal to your body. Stay young, stay strong, stay calm. In the next block, we'll look at anti-inflammatory secret number 4, stress control. Because even with the right food, great sleep, and regular movement, chronic stress can silently undo everything, keeping your brain locked in a state of inflammation. Anti-inflammatory secret number 4, stress control and emotional balance. You can eat the healthiest diet, get deep sleep, and move every day, but if stress is constantly weighing on your shoulders, your brain will still be inflamed. Stress is not just an emotion. It's a chemical event inside your body. And when it lingers too long, it becomes one of the most powerful triggers of neuroinflammation. Here's how it works. When you feel stressed, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. In small bursts, these hormones are useful. They help you react to challenges and stay alert. But when cortisol stays high for weeks, months, or even years, it keeps your immune system in a low-grade state of activation. Microglia, those brain immune cells we talked about, stay on guard, releasing inflammatory chemicals nonstop. Over time, this damages neurons, shrinks memory centers, and leaves you more vulnerable to depression and dementia. You might recognize the signs: constant worry, difficulty sleeping, irritability, or brain fog. Sometimes seniors experience caregiver stress, looking after a partner or family member while neglecting their own needs. Other times, loneliness acts as a hidden stressor, quietly raising inflammation through feelings of isolation. The good news? You can retrain your brain and body to turn down the stress response. Let's explore some of the most effective, science-backed techniques. 1. Breathing is medicine. It sounds too simple, but deep, slow breathing reduces inflammation. When you take a long inhale and an even longer exhale, your vagus nerve, a key anti-inflammatory pathway, activates. Just 5 minutes a day of controlled breathing lowers cortisol and cools the silent fire. 2. Mindfulness and meditation. Studies from UCLA and Harvard show that older adults who practiced mindfulness meditation for just 15 minutes a day had lower levels of inflammatory markers and better memory. Mindfulness doesn't mean emptying your mind. It means noticing your thoughts without judgment, like watching clouds drift by. 3. Connection and laughter. Isolation is inflammatory. Human beings are wired for connection. Seniors who maintain friendships, join clubs, or simply talk regularly with loved ones have lower risks of dementia. Even laughter reduces stress hormones and boosts endorphins, acting as a natural anti-inflammatory. 4. Nature therapy. Spending time outdoors, walking in a park, gardening, or sitting by water has been shown to lower blood pressure and reduce stress-related inflammation. Nature literally resets your nervous system. 5. Spiritual and emotional practices. Prayer, gratitude journaling, or listening to uplifting music helps shift your brain from stress mode into calm mode. A daily gratitude list, even just 3 things, changes the way your brain interprets challenges, lowering inflammation in the process. It's also important to recognize and manage hidden stressors. For example, constantly watching negative news can keep your brain in alarm mode. Setting boundaries, like turning off screens an hour before bed or limiting exposure to stressful content, is a powerful anti-inflammatory step. Remember this: stress is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You cannot remove every challenge from life, but you can choose how your body responds. By creating daily stress control rituals, you protect your brain's most precious resource, peace. In the next block, we'll uncover anti-inflammatory secret number 5, the role of blood sugar in metabolic health. Because one of the biggest hidden sources of brain inflammation doesn't come from stress or lack of sleep. It comes from what's happening in your bloodstream after every meal. Anti-inflammatory secret number 5, blood sugar, metabolic health, and the path to a younger brain. If food, sleep, movement, and stress control are the pillars of an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, then blood sugar management is the foundation they all rest upon. Because when your blood sugar swings wildly up and down, inflammation follows close behind. And nowhere is this more dangerous than in the brain. Every time you eat, glucose from your food enters the bloodstream. Your body uses insulin to shuttle that glucose into cells for energy. But when you consume too many refined carbs, sweets, or processed snacks, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. Over time, these repeated spikes wear down your cell's ability to respond to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance. Why does this matter for the brain? Because insulin isn't just about energy. It also plays a direct role in protecting neurons and regulating inflammation. When your brain becomes insulin resistant, inflammation increases, memory weakens, and the risk of dementia climbs sharply. In fact, some scientists now call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes. So, how can you protect your blood sugar and your brain? 1. Choose whole over refined. Replace white bread, pastries, and sugary drinks with whole grains, beans, and vegetables. These foods release glucose slowly, keeping insulin steady and inflammation low. 2. Pair carbs with protein or fat. Eating fruit with a handful of nuts or bread with olive oil prevents sugar spikes by slowing digestion. It's a simple way to calm the inflammatory response. 3. Move after meals. Even a 10-minute walk after eating helps muscles absorb glucose, lowering blood sugar and reducing the inflammatory load. Seniors who adopt this habit often see big improvements in energy and clarity. 4. Watch portion sizes. It's not just what you eat, but how much. Smaller, balanced meals spread throughout the day are easier on your metabolism than large, heavy meals that flood your bloodstream with sugar all at once. 5. Regular health checks. Monitoring blood sugar and A1C levels with your doctor helps catch insulin resistance early, before it becomes more serious. Knowledge is power, and prevention is always better than cure. When your blood sugar is stable, your brain feels it. You'll notice fewer crashes in the afternoon, more consistent focus, and even improvements in mood. It's like taking the brain off a roller coaster and giving it a smooth, steady ride instead. Bringing it all together, we've now uncovered 5 powerful anti-inflammatory secrets for keeping your brain young. Food as medicine, fueling your brain with omega-3s, berries, olive oil, and anti-inflammatory spices while cutting back on sugar and processed foods. Sleep as cleanup, letting your glymphatic system wash away toxins and cool the silent fire each night. Movement as natural medicine, using daily activity to release anti-inflammatory messengers and keep blood flowing. Stress control and emotional balance, calming cortisol, practicing connection, and finding peace in daily rituals. Blood sugar and metabolic health, stabilizing glucose to protect neurons and prevent type 3 diabetes. Together, these aren't quick fixes. They're a lifestyle, a roadmap to clarity, energy, and resilience. And the best part is, you don't need to do them all perfectly. Even small steps, done consistently, cool inflammation and give your brain the chance to stay sharp and vibrant for years to come. So tonight, as you reflect on what you've learned, ask yourself, what's one simple change I can make this week to protect my brain? Maybe it's swapping soda for water. Maybe it's going for a short evening walk. Maybe it's turning off screens 30 minutes earlier to sleep deeper. Every small act matters. Every choice is a message to your brain. I choose youth. I choose clarity. I choose life. Thank you for joining me today on Wellness for Seniors. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing so you won't miss our next journey into brain health and longevity. And let me know in the comments, which of these 5 secrets will you start practicing first? Until next time, take care of your brain, and it will take care of you.